Hello, Aldwyn, Altuney here. Welcome to Media Queen TV. We have the amazing Zahrina Robertson in the room. She is a brand expert from Sydney, and we have a hot topic for you: content, confidence, and charisma on video. I know people are going to love this topic today, Zahrina. So for those who don't know Zahrina, she is a leading international authority on the power of personal branding. She's an award-winning photographer, videographer, speaker, and author of the new book, Magnetic Branding, the complete guide for a brand that attracts. Zahrina has photographed events such as with people like Richard Branson, Simon Sinek, and many other leading international entrepreneurs. She was headhunted by Arianna Huffington from the world's largest online publication, The Huffington Post. She possesses an unmatched ability in the field of personal branding transformation. She's a highly sought after speaker, conducting workshops on personal branding to guide and motivate corporates, startups, and entrepreneurs to success. Welcome, Zahrina.
Oh, thanks for having me, Aldwyn. How are you?
I'm excellent, thank you. I'm excellent. Wow, it must be amazing to photograph events with people like Richard Branson and Simon Sinek, and you have Tony Robbins has bought some of your collection, your art collection as well. Amazing. So, how did you find these people when you actually met them? How did you, or if you did meet them at these events, how did you find them? Were they the same off the platform as they were on the platform?
Yes, I guess what's interesting, like famous people I've worked with, and I've worked with people who are great influencers around the world, and I have worked with wonderful women and men and people who are just starting up. So, and everyone, whatever level they're at, they're actually really I guess grateful and humble to be in to be able to be guided by what I'm going to do for them and how, and what I will deliver for them, and what I mean, like that
Yes.
just at the experience. So they tend to be quite pussycats, like little
Okay.
really like, oh, really lovely. Just that's
Nice.
like that's the way I describe them in a way, like
Yes,
not they bring out the personality
yes,
because they're relaxed a lot more, and I make an environment where people can be relaxed, right? So they
yes,
let themselves be them, and I love that realness, that authenticity. That's
mm,
that's the only thing I really strive for, is actually having people be really authentic and really real and just be them with me, and I make it really easy for that to happen because I don't take myself seriously. So I'm like,
yes,
I just like doing what I do, so it's all about energy.
yes, absolutely. And people need to feel comfortable if they're going to have a good photo taken or have good video presence. It's important
Yes.
to be comfortable in your skin. And now I'd love to hear about your story, Zahrina, about how you started out in this field with photography and artwork and video. So how did you start out? Can you tell us a bit of your background story?
Well, when I was born, I think I was born with a camera in my cot. And maybe even a paintbrush. Maybe the two things in the cot, Seriously, like, oh my gosh. And I've just been that was a galah. Agreed. No, I think that I started off really that way, and I was born into this creativity, but I guess I didn't realize that I had such creativity till later on in my life, really. I mean, not too late, but just after I had been working in corporate. I used to work in branding and marketing for LVMH, Louis Vuitton, Moët Hennessy, and I used to work and doing that, and so I guess I evolved into where I am now. But it wasn't a straight trajectory or decision making to from high school, right, to doing what I'm doing now. There was always that, putting the foot in, having a job, a 9 to 5, the stability of a job, and that sort of like expectation a little bit of the family, things like that. So so I worked in corporate and enjoyed that, but I just knew there was something missing, but it wasn't really evident to me until I was kind of bullied in corporate, like, and that was fine, but I was bullied too. So I had to. It was like like when you go and you do something, and then things change, and then you go and you have to leave, or you move, or whatever you do, you change and you shift. So you do different directions. So I decided from corporate that I would go, well, I don't know. It just came to me. I said to myself, I made a big fat promise. I said, I'm going to try photography, and I'm going to do events for corporate. And if people don't like my work, well, that's okay. Then I'm not going to do it because people don't like my work, right? And I never went in and did weddings. I never went and, did a portrait, dog photos or baby photos, all that sort of thing. I didn't do that first up. I went into corporate because I went from corporate to corporate, right, as an example, because I had studied marketing. And because I went into something that I knew I was feeling comfortable in, was corporate. So I just went there, and I worked, and my work was accepted, and I worked for a Australian tourism. I had a whole lot of corporate clients, and then I went and did some weddings, and then I went and did the babies and things, and then I realized, I went, babies and me, love babies, but they're not talking to me, not talking my language. I'm not talking my language, small, it's not small, like, okay, I've got what I do now. Teach you a funnel. I don't know how to teach you a funnel. So kind of like, it was like a one-way street, right? One-way conversation.
Yes.
And I was like, that energy exchange wasn't there. So I went seeking, where am I going to find my energy exchange? And I really enjoyed working, and I just started looking around, and people were it, obviously. And then I went when Business Chicks hired me to do all their work for them. And so I never looked back. So Business Chicks, Emma Isaacs, a great friend of mine. So she hired me to do a whole lot of their events and things. It was wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. And that's when I decided that women and helping women was the great way to start working with helping their brand. And because I've got a marketing and a branding background, I brought what I knew in the content, in the whole lot of this, like just a whole lot of different skill sets into helping women and developing their brands. And then from there, I started working with, like big speakers and thought leaders and influencers like Matt Church, working with Dale Beaumont, working with Taki Moore, and all these different people and women. And they, and it's evolved wonderfully. It's wonderful. It's been a really, really enlightening, journey, because I've learned so much about people, and then I learn how to help mold them.
Yes. Well, I think you have to be a bit of a people person to do photography, I think. That's something that I've also done for years. I started a photography business in 2002 when I was working as a journalist full time. So I started that as a side thing. And that was back in the film days, which of course you would remember as well, Zahrina, right? Back in the film days when you had to know how to take a photo. Yeah, what's that exactly? Yeah, exactly. When we had negatives, I don't know why they didn't call them positives, because maybe we wouldn't have so many negative people out there if it wasn't for negatives. But anyway, that's a side point. But I remember when I embraced digital photography in 2005. For me, I actually was very hesitant going over to digital from film. How did you feel back then when digital was taking over?
I was like crazy. I went to a seminar and it was full of men, and I'll never forget it. I was sitting in the back because I was too scared to go to the front. What is this going on? What's going on? And I've always got my ear to the ground of what's happening next, and I enjoy that, right, to keep relevant.
Yes.
Anyway, they were talking about digital, and it was wonderful. And I watched I watched the reactions of the people that were trying to grapple with it, which is fine. And I went, well, this is just a no-brainer to me. And I just took on with it. I just took off with it. I just went with it, and I
Right.
enjoyed it really. I didn't spend much time at all anyway in film like
Right.
however I would do beautiful big exhibitions, Australian icons. I did an exhibition, a black and white
Oh,
film with a 100-year-old
oh,
camera with a
oh,
6.45 negative. So the negative was that big, right? And I
wow.
developed
Yeah.
those negatives and made them into beautiful black and white images. And I love taking the process of working with famous Australian sportsmen with a 100-year-old camera, which you'd have to look down. It was a Bronica. Yeah, it was really amazing. Like you'd look down, and then they're kind of like, you just have to
Yeah.
hold it like a beautiful box brownie. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Wow.
The way that you kind of just have to look down and
Yeah.
through this beautiful mechanism, right? And
Yes.
photographing men in Manly and all the sports people, I said, look, just turn up. And the brief was, hey, I want to photograph you for this exhibition. And I want to photograph you because you are, Wayne Gardner. You're amazing at what you do. Let me meet you at let me meet you down at Manly, and let's just do some shots. And then I talked to all these other people like John Eales and all these other famous Australian men. And every time I said, this is what we're going to do, but they would, without doubt, they all turned up without their shirt on. I'm like, without their shirt on. Was that part of the brief?
Well, I thought it was a different kind of shoot.
It was great. You should see, like, the negatives. It's like, naked. No, they're not. They were all wearing clothes. They were all wearing their budgie smugglers, But I was doing creative imagery, right? And it was so amazing. I loved it. I just loved it. So cool. I was getting really arty shots of them, and so it was really interesting. And that was the beginning, a little bit of beginning of me working with how I wanted to work with people a little as well. I would do exhibitions, and I love my exhibitions. I do.
Yes, nice. Well, you're very creative, obviously, with the photography, with your videography, which a lot of people didn't know that you did video when you were doing video. You were very well known as a photographer, and then you went into branding from what I remember of you, and lately it's been a lot more videography that we're seeing. So how is that?
Yeah.
How was that transition?
I've always done video because I've absolutely always, I've been doing video for like 12 years now.
Right. And a lot of people just didn't know about it, I think. So
it's so interesting because it would be together. I'm doing people's brands together with video, right? And photography. Anyway, so it's a no-brainer. And then because it's so important for people to absolutely harness both visual mediums together as their brand. Very powerful. Very powerful. One without the other is like having, one leg, or it's just a bit hard, I think. So the visual assets are very important for people's brands. And I've always been doing the two of them together. Creating people's stories on video has always been a passion of mine because I love storytelling and creating the stories and creating people's brands through the medium of video is another thing altogether, and another skill set that's specialized and that I have always pushed myself to learn and to do, and I've been doing it for ages. I love it. The transformation of seeing people who come in work with me from not having a brand to having a brand, not knowing what to say to knowing what to say, and absolutely owning it. That is gold. Like that's gold. Like you see that magic in their eyes going, I just did that. Yeah, you did that because they were guided by me along the way and before the shoot date, which is important because I like to nurture people and get the best out of them. And so it's a lot of steps. I've got my ways of helping people. So it's really interesting to see the process of people with their brands, storytelling them and helping them get that message right. It's important.
And there's a bit of work to do.
Background, I know what I want to hear. If I was your perfect client, you know what I mean? If I was your soul client, things like that, I would be like, so I put myself into the position of the client for them.
Yes.
And so I would kind of like channel myself to go, well, okay, that's relevant, that's not. oh, let's hear a bit more about that, and curate people to be really powerful brands. That's what I do really well.
Yes, nice, nice. And, as they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words, a video is worth 1,000,000 words is what they say. So what are your thoughts on that saying?
Yeah, definitely. Both together is worth 1,000,000,000 words and imagery and things like that. Like,
yeah,
together is very powerful. I
yes.
love that saying. I love it. And because words and photos and imagery is so powerful to change the perception of people's perception of you. It's really interesting to see how powerful an image can work in media, as you know, and PR, as you know as well. Yeah.
Yes, it's very important. Visuals are so important now, particularly with the whole world of social media as well. It's images and words basically that we're promoting, whether it's and moving images are so incredibly powerful, I think, with video. And there's a lot more video content being consumed now online. I don't know if you have any stats handy there that you know of, Zahrina, about how quickly video is moving ahead in the world. Have you got any stats you can share with us? Or?
Yeah, well, in COVID, 80% of the population in the USA was watching video. Like, hello,
Yes.
it's like huge.
That's huge.
It's I love it. I love the medium, but I love helping the people on the I know from firsthand experience how hard it is to put yourself out there on video, how hard it is to think about doing that, then thinking about what to say. Then the other step is what all the other little shifting elements of, is the lighting right? And am I looking okay? And am I sounding okay? And what are my energy levels like? What is my charisma looking like? Feeling like? And what is my confidence turning up like? And it's just so it's so many moving parts that sometimes we just need help. And guidance, and that's where I've really enjoy helping people, because it's not easy doing and getting on video, and it's a big part of my story. It's a big part.
Okay, fantastic. And obviously it's not just a matter of, just showing up and getting a good headshot. You need to do the groundwork, right, to find out a bit more about what is it the person wants to portray, etc. So what's the process you go through with your clients, whether they want a photo shoot or they want a video shoot, to actually prepare them for that, and so that you can get the best image you can, or have them presenting themselves in the best way possible? What are some of the things that you need to know from your client?
Well, what happens is that when I work with people, they are like a clean slate to me, and I get to put my paintbrush of creativity all over them. And so, I like that, and I like putting my my magic wand, and I love it, and because I feel and I see the real them, because I'm objective. I see that, and I work very energetically and intuitively. So it's quite it's a very intuitive, natural process for me with people. And it's quite interesting. I look at people when we work together. I go, oh my gosh, I've got this idea. Let's do it. What do you think? And okay, yeah, great. And because I know it's in tune with their values, it's in tune with their mission and their vision statements. It's in tune with a whole lot of them. And I come up with these great ideas. And again, it comes back to my marketing expertise and my branding expertise, my years of doing all of this for corporates and doing it for people. So I translate my intuition to my ideas, and then to my theory about what would work, what's relevant, what's marketable, and what definitely will be a showstopper type of imagery, and what's going to be a showstopper type of messaging for the person. So it's very important that they actually get it. They get it because I explain it to them. Being, again, me as their ideal client, I explain it to them. So the processes are like working with, definitely with their values, and, what they're going to be doing, and where they're going to be wanting to be seen, and who do they want to be attracting and magnetizing into their inner circle, or to their clientele. It's really interesting because I've worked with some top entrepreneurs, and they've come to me and they've looked at their level of expertise. When I see them, when they come to me and I analyze this with them, they are down at this level, right? Like a lower level, and then I'm very honest with them. So, say for example, and I literally say, okay, you're like a 50-cent brand, like down here, right? As an example, and then as we work together and we put in place the steps of working together and how I'm evolving them into their brand, that they're where they want to be. So people always have an A and a B. They have an A where they are and a B where they want to be. So I encourage people who are listening today, you work out where are you at A, what kind of like level are you at level A as a brand right now, and then where do you want to be in level B? Where do you see your future you? Where do you see your future self as a personal brand? And what is that empty gap missing? What is it? Like, it's a big gap. And so I fill that gap, and I do that like literally within weeks, days, seconds. I do that.
Amazing.
I do that in milliseconds. I love it. I love that, because I know when someone physically comes to me for the first time, I see from A to B. I've already visualized them in B, right? Because I'm the expert in doing that. And then when they're finished, boom, it's exceeded the B. It's skyrocketed. So it's interesting to go through a process of branding. It's so important that you do it regularly to be relevant to your marketplace. And I really, really believe that. And also doing imagery and videos that are not like everybody else. There's a lot of cookie cutter kind of approaches out there. So I really highly recommend start thinking outside of the cookie cutter approach of branding. I really believe that.
Yeah, nice. I like that. And what do you say to people who say, I hate having my photo taken, or I come across awful in photos, or I'm so nervous about being on camera? What are some things you say to those people?
I say a lot, I say a lot. I'm like, you know what? Oh gosh, I don't know. I just like, dentists and me are like, we're on par. I'm happy about that, dentists, gosh, I don't want to go to the dentist. Well, gosh, I mean, I'm not going to pull the tooth out, right?
No.
That's what I say to people. Oh my gosh, I get that all the time, It's so funny. I'm getting it like 100 years later.
Yes.
It's so great. I think it's like hilarious that people still pull that one out on me.
Yes. Yeah, I get it quite a bit too. Yeah.
I like it. It's a challenge, right? I love the challenge.
Yes, it is. And I often say to them, look, as long as you keep saying that, you'll keep pulling faces in front of the camera. Like, so you just need to let that story go, right? Because
it's a
it is a story. Yeah.
I think I tell you, here's another like an excuse. I'll go back a bit of my story, is that with I never wanted to get on camera. I never wanted to be in front of the lens ever. When I started what I did, I really, really wanted to just be behind the camera, because I knew that was my safety zone. It was just my zone. It was just me. And and I remember very clearly a lot of the times I made a lot of transformation with my clients was when I had the camera down and when I was actually communicating with them, and really at a heartfelt level and working with them, and they were feeding off my energy, and it was a really wonderful experience. And then I pick up the camera and then I do my thing. But that's that energy exchange. But I never really translated what I was doing with people without the camera down with people, right? With more than one-on-one, right? So I never really thought about it that much. But I knew I have an inner power or a way of helping people.
Yes.
It's my way.
Yeah.
Bottle that up, right? It's not like KFC Colonel Sanders, you know.
Well, you haven't waited till 65 to start business like Colonel Sanders. So if you're 65 right now or older, it's never too late.
It's never too late. It's
Never too late.
absolutely never too late.
And you won't look as good next year as you do now. So I say, get your photos and your video done while you can, while you're still looking great.
Exactly. Like my oldest client was in her 90s. And she was an
Wow.
entrepreneur. And you know what? I will never forget that lady, ever. She was coming up my stairs to my natural light studio with her walking stick, and her daughter had come to me for her branding shots, and it was just so amazing because you know what? I was petrified of this lady. She was so scary to me because you know what? She was a strong businesswoman, and she's like a strong businesswoman. And she goes, "Now, Zahrina," and she's like wobbling along with a walking stick, you're not going to get me, not going to be spending too much time on me. Now, you make sure that the makeup is right on me. I'm like, yeah. She was really scaring me, and because she was such a really amazing lady, but she just knew how to boss me around, right?
Yeah, amazing. Yeah,
it's so gorgeous. Anyway, so I enjoyed that shoot. But going back to in regards to helping people with getting out of their shell.
yes.
I started analyzing what is it a bit about my magic sauce. So I started writing a bit about that and talking about that to people and enjoying doing that process. But a big part of this over the couple of years I've realized is that I was really not harnessing myself to be in front of the camera, be on video. I absolutely, hand on heart, thought, just let my work do the work, like as in just let my work do the talking, right? And I didn't need to verbally and turn up, show up, be me on video, right? And I was like, wow, gee, this is pushing my buttons, this is pushing me a lot, right? So that's what happened. I really decided that I had to harness my story and me and get away from and I call this is me. I talk about this a lot when I'm on stage speaking to people. It's about turtle branding. I help people through their turtle branding. We put our head in the shell and we pop it out. We put it in and we're out, in and out. And that is what I used to be like. And I cannot believe it. And I help people with getting out of their turtle shell fast.
Yes, that's a big one. I love that turtle analogy because you want to hide those chins, right? And it's all about the angle, and you definitely don't want to be shooting up someone's nose either. That's not a good look. So the angle, the framing, the lighting, are all really important. So it's
what I'm talking about is actually the is hiding from being seen. So if you're a turtle, you put your head in. Oh, I don't want to be seen on video as a business person. And then, I'm going to pop out for 2 seconds. Oh, I'm going to come back in and out. So that's what I'm
yes.
And so I was a big turtle. I was the mother of turtles.
Right. So a lot of people will be able to relate to that too. Absolutely. A lot of people are sort of in hiding, or they peek out. So the turtle analogy too is also for when you actually, how you pose for the photo is a tip, right? Is to actually put your head forward, and the different angles. And some people look better left side, right side, etc. There's all sorts of idiosyncrasies to getting a great photo.
It's interesting. People have this perception that they've got a left and a right side, and then they think they might be ugly or something, or they, whatever they've got going on, right? Or when they were a little child, maybe somebody said something to them. But I don't see all that. So I just see beauty,
Yes. Well,
I just see the potential in people. And that's what I think as business people in business, we have to harness that, I think, belief and the potential in the business in their clients. It's really important.
Yes, and seeing the best in them and what's possible, right? It's a lot of people don't see that for themselves, and we're often too close to what we do to see our genius. So as you said, you were great behind the camera. You love being behind the camera. However, you were also good talking to clients, and then you realize that there's a whole other other sort of business angle there that you could help people on, on that way, and actually speaking. And I remember seeing you speaking about branding in Sydney. Gosh, must have been nearly 10 years ago now, at a Dale Beaumont event. Business Blueprint. You were speaking there about branding, I remember, and you were taking photos down there as well, and that was really cool because I'd seen you do the photography thing, and then to see you actually presenting as well. So how and you were actually very confident. You seemed very confident. It looked like you'd done it quite a bit before, but maybe you hadn't at that point. So what was that like for you to? Were you nervous originally when you were started to public speak?
Totally.
Right.
I mean, an opportunity. Well, Dal said, Zahrina, you're the real deal, the goods. I'm putting you up there, and I like. So there was 10 episodes, and I had to speak for 45 minutes straight. And you do the maths, right? I am bad at maths, but do the maths. 10 episodes, 45 minutes straight talking.
Yeah.
Whoa. And then it wouldn't just be. It'd be like 3 episodes in one session, like in the beginning of a day, right? So I do 3, right? So 3 hours of speaking, and I just found myself, and I loved it, and I really enjoyed it, and I started to really get into the rhythm of feeling more within myself and my soul. So I truly believe that this is a soul's journey of being on on camera. Yes. I really believe it. Because you just feel a lot more aligned to who you are. You start to move a bit more you, and you start to become that real charismatic you, right? The confident you. And you start to move your body a bit more. I mean, I highly recommend doing some tango lessons, right? Seriously.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, I'm actually doing some belly dancing tomorrow, belly dancing and hula dancing tomorrow morning. And I said to the lady running, and I said, well, I've been working on my belly for a while. I've got a great belly now for belly dancing, so I don't think that'll be an issue. So embrace however you look, embrace, all the bits that jiggle around, and
yes.
Embrace you in whatever skin you have, be grateful for the life that you have, because, if you're not confident in your skin, you're not going to be charismatic, are you? Which is part of the topic today, content, confidence, and charisma. So what do those 3 words mean to you, Zahrina? They're big topics.
Yeah, they're big topics. They're actually really ingrained in me because it's actually some of the bases and the values of what I do to this day for like forever. So I remember I remember a story that when I was working in retail, I was working in like Maya, and one day I was getting dressed to go to dressed to go out to work, and I was like getting ready and just about to walk out the door, opened up the front door to go, and Dad said, where are you going? And I said, oh, I'm going to work. He goes, are you going to go to work dressed like this, like how? And I went, yeah. And he said, why? And I said, because everybody else dresses like this. He goes, but Zahrina, yesterday, the day before, and the day before, you were not dressed like this. And I went, well, I'm just trying to fit in. And he goes, no, you'll never, ever fit in. You need to go back in that bedroom and change into how you really want to express yourself in your dress, like dress the way you are. And I'll never forget that lesson, because I'm saying that is because the more we try to fit into anybody else's shell or anybody else's being, we don't become us. And that means that it translates into video, it translates into images, it translates into who you are and how you're doing business and things like that. It just translates into everything. And when you're becoming incongruent, you're not becoming congruent, you get shifting, you shift, and you're feeling uncomfortable in where you are. And that's because when we are in the uncomfortable zone, we are absolutely shifting to the part where we really want to be. And that is, again, I'm going to get back to from the A to B scenario. We are shifting up towards that B zone. You know what I mean? So I really believe that the more that we can translate ourselves in our being and who we are, and showing up who we are and being the true selves, we are serving more people. More people want to see and connect with you as a person. They get to love you and like you and respect you. And then and this all belongs to all what I share and how I understand to be what is worthy content, what is being confident, what is being charismatic, is all of that is how I draw that out, how I see naturally in people when I've been doing this for 100 years with photography and video. So it's just a matter of me teaching people and helping them do that. And I'm doing it and I love it and enjoying that process to be the real selves, be authentic. It's absolutely, can I say, it's hard doing it by yourself, but when you've got someone who's got your back, tweaking you and helping you and guiding you, I think that accelerates you.
Yes, absolutely. Well, that's right. People pay in two ways. They either pay in time, right, or they invest money to save time, right? So you pay, either going to put a lot of time in to save money, or you're going to put the money in to save time. So if you want to fast track results, of course, work with mentors is so important, and having someone else to see how you come across, particularly for video, is so crucial.
I love it. I love helping people.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. So with this topic, content, confidence, and charisma, so do you have a formula around how you recommend people do their video content, for example?
Yes, definitely. I've been doing this for a long time and helping them, especially when I'm helping my one-on-one clients. I'm helping them with their content and what they need to say. And so I develop their model, their brand model for them, and what they need, their pillars, and we go from there and help them. So I really enjoy that, and making sure that it's relevant to their mission, their values, and absolutely helping them create a brand along that content lines that they can just speak about and enjoy and not get bored of it for not get bored of it after 3 months, right? But absolutely helping them with their 90-day content creation plan. I love it. Yeah. And then in that is with their video plan, and I help that with them and the video plan and their visual plan, photography as well.
And excellent. And how often would you say people should be putting videos out if they're in business, and where should they put them out to? Which platforms?
Well, hey, video queen now, Well, what?
Well, what do you
recommend? I highly recommend. You're doing definitely some, 3 videos a week. Do Instagram reels. I like doing these Instagram reels, and I'm, adding value to the Instagram reels, and I love Instagram for that. And it's quite interesting. Just utilizing the app and doing an Instagram reel is so spontaneous and so much fun. It's quite interesting doing. It's actually an energy thing of having fun doing what you're doing and not thinking it as a chore or overthinking it. And this is the other pitfall people do get into, is that they think that they need to absolutely say too much when they actually need to pare it back and start. So this is my one of my tips today. Write down what you want to say and what you want to share, and then just go and go down deep into one part or 2 parts, and go and just talk about 2 parts on a video. Get rid of all the pressure of the expectations of yourself and then expectations of other people of you. And that's going to really nail you and your confidence and charisma.
Yeah, that's a great tip. I love that. Instagram Reels, very popular. Absolutely. Do you use YouTube or other video platforms, Vimeo or?
Yes, I do. In fact, I've been playing around Vimeo for sure. Vimeo for definitely housing everything I've got. But definitely, and I've recently just been asked to be an ambassador for a global video company, which I'm really excited about, which I will share on my webinar next Wednesday.
Oh, excellent. Oh, teasing. Yes, there's a webinar. Yes, let us know about this webinar. We do have a link here, October 27.
I'm so excited. So that's been really cool.
What is this webinar about for those who don't know?
The webinar is going to help people with their confidence and absolutely their, what they need to help, what message they need to share and how to share that on video. So I go a lot about that messaging and the content and the video. So helping them really curate what what needs to be shared. I think it's really important, and also helping understand and letting people understand the value of what they need to bring to the table that will help people be attracted to them, magnetized to them as a brand. Yeah, so I really want to, go deep in that. Yeah.
Nice. And what time is that on Wednesday?
That's on in Sydney time on next Wednesday, the 27th, October the 27th at 6:00 Sydney time.
6:00 Sydney. So that will be 5:00 for anyone in Queensland, because now Queensland is on Australian Eastern Standard Time, AEST, and Sydney, Melbourne are on AEDT, Australian Eastern Daylight Time, which I know is very confusing for a lot of people. But for 6 months of the year, this is how it goes from October to April. This is how it goes.
I love Queensland. I grew up in Caloundra, so I love all those. Anybody from Caloundra tapping in, come and join me.
Oh, great. Awesome. A beautiful spot, Caloundra. So nice. So how long have you been in Sydney then?
Oh, dear. I think about ages. Yeah, okay. Probably about 15 years. Yeah.
Okay. Well, whereas I grew up in Sydney and now I'm living on the Gold Coast, so I've gone the other way. So we've tag teamed the other way around, Zahrina.
Oh, yes, you have. I know. Yeah. I know. You can come and house sit, and I'm going to come house sit you.
Yeah, we can solve that. Once the borders open, of course. Yeah. And I know that's been tough in Sydney and Melbourne lately with all the lockdowns and things, and so I'm sending love to everyone who's been struggling through that. That's been challenging for a lot of people. How have you been coping, Zahrina, with the current situation with COVID? Has it affected business in any way for you, or have you been able to sort of navigate, or even has business improved for you during this time?
Yeah, business has improved, and it's improved because I decided from get-go that I'm going to have a good mindset about this. I'm going to try and pull through. It was all about my mindset. I just had to experiment and do and try and have fun with all of this, and and I really did. I pulled through, and and I literally, I launched another brand. I pivoted in different ways. I did challenges with people globally. I, created opportunities which just was seen in America. And so there's this which are going to reap the rewards this 2022. So it's been really exciting to see that the networking that I created and, with different people and new people, and it's just been phenomenal. And also the support that you give people as well is important, and helping and tapping into people authentically. Like I'm helping them, or, can I help you with something? And, can I look at something? Can I look at your website, review it, give you tips on how to improve it? Can I, just everything I could do, I would want it to do, help people give feedback on their, videos and on their imagery and where we can move forward and, when time's ready. So now I'm reaping the rewards, and people are booking in and booking me up, and I'm like, oh my god, I was on a holiday, wasn't I? Oh my god, I gotta get ready. Oh my god. Chicken back,
Also, and of course, your artwork people can buy from all over the place. So for those who don't know about your artwork, you do beautiful artwork. So tell us a bit about that. You've got a very unique technique with your artwork. So can you tell us a bit about that? I'll put the link for that up here, zahrinagallery.com.
Oh, thank you. Gosh. I mean, I have said this to myself at the beginning of time. If I ever do anything, I don't want to do it badly, and I don't want to do it wrong, or I don't want to do it at all. If it doesn't sit with me right. Okay, that's my mantra to myself, right? My manifestation. And then so I guess I applied that to art, and art came to me 2 years ago by accident, and I was just doing some things on Instagram and showing my art, and then a New York art gallery tapped me on the shoulder and said, do you want to come to New York? I said, and exhibit your work. And I went, oh yeah. Yes. And it was touch and go. It was amazing. Like, oh, yes, no, yes.
That's a tough decision. Yeah.
Tough decision. So I went, right, and I took my art, it sold, and I got some, and I did the exhibition, and I got some collectors over there, which is exciting. And I'm like, oh, this is just another world, right? And I'm not into the snooty art game. I'm not into that. I'm more like, you know what, you like my work, my other work, my photography and video. You like me? You like my work? We're going to work together. That's fine. It's great. So yeah, you can see my work on. If you see my oceanic scapes on your wall, well, then it's a done deal. Let's go for it. You know. So that's what happened. I just did that, and then I attracted opportunities with it. And I came back to Australia from New York, and then a big corporate took me and launched me in Australia as an Australian emerging artist. It's my oceanscapes and my work and color work, and I work with all different mediums. And yeah, Zahrina Gallery is the website. It's new, which is great. And Anthony Robbins is one of my collectors. And yeah.
Exciting. Wow.
I do commissions, and I do different styles because I like variety, and it's nice. It's just soothing. And I believe that we've all got an inner artist in us anyway. So
yes,
I thought I'd bring it out a little bit later.
Yeah, well, everything you do is creative, really. You're in the creative field, so so artwork is part of that, photography, video, coaching, it's all very creative. And there's a lot of joy in being creative as a human being. In fact, it's one of the best ways for anyone who has depression out there. Getting creative is a really great way to overcome depression or any dark moments you might have. And that could be creative, like cooking, cooking, playing an instrument, singing, artwork. I love artwork as well. I love losing anything that you lose yourself in, as far as time just flies. Ideally, you want to do more of that in life, right? And Bob Proctor talks about that. Yeah, it's amazing. And Bob Proctor talks about, how do you find your purpose? You do what you love every single day. As much as you can, do what you love. So what is it you love? And I can see, Zahrina, with what you do, you love it, and that shines through. And so you're very good at it, and that's where you've built a reputation for yourself with what you do. A lot of people know that. Yeah.
I haven't actually announced it that I do photography and video and with the art. I haven't really. I've actually let people, like somehow discover that.
Right. Yeah.
I haven't announced it. I'm not really, as in.
Yes.
I've just let it be a pleasant, like Pandora's box opening or something, if that's the case.
Yeah, well, it's been a bit like that. Yeah, it's been a bit like that. Some people might know you for your photography, some people might know you for your art, but then soon enough they'll discover that you also, if they discover one channel, they'll find, oh, you also do this and also do that, right? So, and obviously you love it. So I think that's awesome that you do that and you follow your creative pursuits, and it's very unique to you. Every photo you take, every artwork you do is unique to you. The video training, how you do your video training will be unique to you. And, what I love about video is how you can build trust with video. And this is a huge thing nowadays, right? Is people don't know who to trust out there. There's a lot of scammers online and offline. And if you don't have video out there, then people can't really connect with you, right? We see a few posts maybe on social media for those that are on social media. Some people aren't on social media. 60% of businesses don't have websites, so, which is amazing in today's day and age. However, that's the facts, so video particularly is incredibly powerful. And I'd love to hear more from you on our topic today on the confidence and charisma, building that confidence and charisma. What are some other things people can do to build that when they are either getting photos taken or they're going to be on video?
Look, I believe in, it's a lot of self-talk and a lot of mindset, but a lot of preparation, just a preparation of that, you're an individual soul. What have you got to give to the world that nobody else has to give to the world? Because we're all individual, right? And so what we say and how we say things, and then how we come across, and then what we produce and help people is so unique. It's that your fingerprint, right? So at the end of the day, that fingerprint on video of you is just so you. And I truly believe that is your DNA, and that is what's going to be your stepping stone to success on video. And I really believe that. I think that people have got their own, their own aura, their own charisma to share, and how they do that, it's different ways. Introverts have got different ways to show up. Extroverts have got different ways to show up, and in between, you've got that, you've got you turning up. So as the real authentic self. So, it's about trying. It's about failing. It's about success. And one of the biggest things is that I help people with is just grab your phone and just talk like, you know, you're doing a live or you're doing a video. Don't press play. It's okay. Just, you don't, well, no, press play, I mean. Press play, but don't press it into any social media,
Right. Don't stream it. Yeah. Don't stream. So record, but don't stream it straight away.
Just press the record button and just do that, and just do that, and just relax your body. Breathing and breathing exercises are important because we tend to hold this all of this tension up here. We tend to go short breath when we're nervous and things like that. But the more you do it, tall back, posture. I'm big on that when I'm doing my photography and my videos with my clients. It's all about the posture, and really harnessing yourself and taking charge and smiling and just believing in yourself and believing in and exuding the inner gloriness of you. And people, and that magnetism, it will come, but practice it, because it is a muscle, it's a muscle.
Yes. And I think that charisma shines. Yeah, practice, I think, very important. And I think, the charisma shines through when people love what they do. You can just see there's an extra kind of pizzazz about people that are in flow or in the zone. And you said, like, as a photographer, that was your zone, right? And your zone evolved into being in front of the camera, and, which is really interesting. And, there can be many zones that we go into, but when you're in the zone, because this is how I know, is that time flies. That's how I know I'm in the zone. And I'm not looking at the watch going, when is this going to finish, right? I'm actually just in the moment. I'm totally absorbed. I'm loving it. And, I can see that with what you do, which is awesome. And that has a certain charisma about it. So whatever it is that you're doing out there, find a way to love what you do. If you're not loving it right now, then either find a way to love it or do something else, right? Maybe it's time to actually shift if you're not really loving it, or, things can become boring for people over time, sometimes in business as well, right? They get bored with it and, go on to the next thing. So whatever it is, if you've lost the joy, either find a way to find the joy again, or, look for what you did enjoy about it. Maybe there's parts of the business or parts of the things you're doing that you don't enjoy, but maybe there's other parts you do enjoy. So I think the trick in life is to find those things that you absolutely love to do as much of that as possible, and outsource the rest, right? Build the team to support you in all those other things.
I think that's a good segue. Yeah, I think that's a great segue into the rebranding and refocusing. And we've gone through such a hard time for so many people in their businesses and their brands, and they don't know if they belong, or they're shifted, or they've really shifted internally. And so that internal shift needs to match their external shift. And it's really important that happens on video, it happens on your visual branding, and most importantly, your messaging and your content. And that's why I'm doing this webinar next week. It's really important. I just feel I owe it to people, so many people that I know, so that they can rejig themselves to be the better version of themselves. Because we've come out of this, I feel like we've been in the washing machine, the dryer, the washing machine, and then the dishwasher,
Yes. And some people haven't been on the organic products, so some of them are really feeling the pinch, right? They're getting all those toxic chemicals in them as well. So there's all sorts of craziness happening out there. So, how to find your bliss in amongst the craziness, to find yourself, or rebrand yourself. That's a huge thing. And, what are some of the biggest issues you find, or some of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to branding?
Number one is they think they're not worthy enough to make the step to be a better brand. They don't invest in themselves to step it up. Right. They don't see, so here's the thing. The pressures of today's society right now with business is that you do need to have a relevant brand at the end of the day to attract your ideal client.
Yes.
And then what happens is that some people with their fear factor holds them down. That little chirpy person, little monkey on their shoulder goes, no, you're going to stay down here, and we're not going to elevate you up here because you're not worthy. as an example. So there's a
Yes.
lot of that, the little monkey on our shoulder goes, no. But yet
Yes.
our logic and the pressures of business now, right now, in this day and age, we need to be seen up here at a particular level of brand that is going to make a change in other people's lives and other people's businesses, and more importantly, our own selves, our own purpose. Because if you're not living on purpose, then what are you living on? And that's one thing. Like your purpose, it's important to be living your purpose, but not listen to that monkey on your shoulder. The other thing I think is people, they think they preconceive that branding is super expensive, and it's not. But quality branding is an investment to make it, and you get the quality results. So if you go to somebody who you might be doing, I don't know, $50 headshots as an example, as opposed to maybe myself that really knows how to create a brand, a proper world-class brand, personal brand properly, you will see the results. You'll get 50-cent photos, 50-cent customers, or whatever that might be. Or you want to work and create the $1 million clientele. And that's where I'm at. I work and create world-class brands, $1 million brands. That's what I do. So I love that for people. And it doesn't matter what level you are in business. This is the same output that I do for people, that level of consistency. So I love working with people that are startups, been in business for 3-5 years, been in business for 10-15 years. To me, they all are the magic to me. But they all get that $1 million branding, right? But don't shortchange yourself, because you as a business person, you have an obligation to yourself and the people that you serve to step it up, to share really who you are in all your glory and all your authenticity, and also on video for sure,
Yes.
But
Yeah,
knowing
absolutely.
what to say and how to say it is another thing,
Yes.
And that's another thing, right? So I create the $1
Yes.
million brands on video.
Yes. And what about length, like the actual length of time on video? Like some people say, 3 minutes the ideal time for a promotional video, 14 minutes plus if you're doing a Facebook Live. How long do you recommend your clients do with these content videos? What length do you recommend?
I definitely easily 10 minutes for content videos, so say for example, there's a lot of content. What's happening in the marketplace right now is that there's a lot of people with, COVID, and then they've all decided to be content, like, course creators, right? Course creators, there's a million of them right now online, millions. So what's happened is that all going online, but some people are going online and they're not harnessing really what they absolutely nail within, what they need to nail within each of their videos, and then what they really need to share that is going to be of high value. So people can buy their online course. So I help people with that. From a branding point of view, from my marketing point of view, and my some understanding, again, me standing in your customer's position, if you want to be doing a plumbing course, I'm going to pretend I'm a plumber, you know what I mean? And I want to know the ins and outs of the pipes right now.
Yeah. Well, I always say sex is like plumbing, but anyway, that's another story. Well, if there's no love making, it's like plumbing. Anyway, there's a very serious topic. Actually, it is a very serious topic, because I say, right, there's a lot of people that are conflicting with each other over all sorts of things, right? And I say, make love, not war. That's what the world needs. We need more love, absolutely more love. And I do have something to represent that here. Here it is. Here is my little love heart, just to remind you to make love, not war, and it's a lot more than plumbing when you do it right. So anyway, back to what you were saying. I got sidetracked on the plumbing there, Zahrina.
The plumbing. Right, me too. Oh my God.
But some people definitely need their pipes cleaned out, right? They definitely need that.
Stop it. You're giving me laugh lines.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So it comes, and this is part of charisma too. Like, there's something in Think and Grow Rich they actually talk about sexual transmutation and about actually having a bit of that sort of, you know, sex appeal to actually have charisma. It actually talks about it in Think and Grow Rich, right?
Everyone.
And that
Everyone's
comes
got
to,
sex
and
appeal.
yeah, and confidence, right? So if you know, you could be not necessarily like a, you know, a supermodel looking person. However, if you have confidence in yourself, no matter what size you are, even like I look at Magda Zubanski, right? Like she's a big woman, but you know, she's confident, and she's, you know, and there's a lot of people would find her incredibly attractive and charismatic, right? Regardless of her size. And so it doesn't matter what size you are, or, you know, it's embracing your skin, isn't it? Embracing who you are.
And you know, like Oprah Winfrey, you know, and you know, people like this, like, and it doesn't even, it doesn't even also need to be like an Oprah Winfrey, but as an example, like Oprah, like she's just, you know, it comes back to storytelling. When you embrace your story and you harness that, so this is a big part of why I have been that turtle, is because I've not, I do now, but because it's in the past, but I have embraced my turtle branding, me being and hiding in my turtle shell away from people, and then coming out and going in, and coming out and going in, because I've embraced it, because it's not me anymore, but it's how I can help people. And if I can help one person who's watching today to help them get that confidence and, you know, be able to stand in their zone and own themselves and own their message, well, then it's my job done, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And every video you do, you're leaving a legacy. You know, that's another thing I love about video. You know, a lot of people are doing podcasts now, and they're just doing audio podcasts. And you know, if they did a video podcast or a video cast and then extracted the audio, then you've got both there. And there's nothing quite like being able to see someone's face on video, you know. And part of why I do what I do is I'm a stand for truth and good news. You know, I've had depression. I've had 4 friends take their own lives by the age of 45, and none of them had any video content of them out there. You know, we had photos to remember them by, which was lovely to have the photos. However, you know, if we had video content to remember them by, like what we're doing even now, this is leaving a legacy, right? Leaving a legacy for both of us. It's a win-win scenario. And that's the thing. Every time you do video, or, you know, getting your photos as well, you are leaving a legacy. But as we say, you know, photos 1,000 words, a video is 1,000,000 words. Put the two together is 1,000,000,000 words, right? I love that. So, you know, getting conscious to that too. You know, you could be leaving a legacy with every video that you put out. And the more you get over yourself and build that confidence to do that, the more that you will impact those around you, and the more you'll inspire your family, your friends, your community. And the more you step up, the more you'll encourage others to step up. And again, it comes back to that mindset often, doesn't it, Zahrina?
Oh, totally. And, you know, family and balance. And I've got a 13-year-old boy, and, you know, he, I'm going, oh, can you be a bit quiet? I've got to do a reel.
Yeah.
Oh, Mom, I'll go and like it for you. You know? Thanks, son. You know, it's like,
so at least you know you're going to get at least one like from your son, right? But you know, I do
I'm happy with that. But what I think is the legacy. It's showing up. It's as a business owner, and I think that we can always really harness skills and always expand our skill base all the time. And I really believe that we can, if we push ourselves to be the best version of ourselves, we're going to be so proud of our achievements. And every day, every year, every 6 months, every 90 days in our, you know, on our 90-day content calendar. And I think I really think that when we do that, we put, I don't know. I just think that we are living a fuller life, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. The more you love what you do, the fuller life you're living, and the more joy you will bring to the world and impact those around you. And now, Zahrina, you have a brilliant group as well here, Entrepreneurs Collective Video Confidence and Charisma Community. I love that title. And that is the group link right there. There it is there.
Yeah, everyone join.
Yeah.
Come on.
So join the Facebook group, and Zahrina will be interviewing me in that group next week about how to use video to get free publicity. So that'll be awesome as well, leaving more legacies out there. And also, Zahrina, you have a fantastic freebie for people as well, the Get the Video Checklist. Can you tell us more about that one?
Oh, please. Yeah, so the checklist goes from A to Z, ZZ, ZZ. Something that you can need to do and need for video. So yeah, download it and use it, and hopefully I'm a help, So hopefully that helps you. It's in its details. So go for it.
Awesome. And that's the link right there. So zarina.com/get-the-video-checklist. So get that. Fantastic, Zahrina. That's very generous of you. Thank you so much for offering that to our people. And check out the Facebook group. And, of course, the webinar will be amazing. So it's going from 6 p.m. Sydney next Wednesday until, is it 1 hour or 90 minutes?
Yeah, it'll be an hour. Yeah,
An hour?
I can't wait. Yeah, it'd be great. It'll be,
Excellent.
some Q&As and things like that. And yeah, it'd be great. I'm looking forward to that. So we opened it up just 2 days ago, and I've already had like over 100 registrations.
Wow, amazing. So so get along to that. That sounds phenomenal. And next week, next Wednesday, I'll put that link back up. It is in the comments, and if you're not seeing it right now, we'll make sure it is in the comment where you're looking at it. And that is this one here, vba-reg.zarinaphotography.com. And now, Zahrina, what about future plans for you? So you've got the webinar coming up. What are future plans in your business?
Well, I sleep a lot at Christmas.
Sleep and eat a lot. Yes, that's definitely coming up for everyone.
Eat a lot. Yeah, spend a lot of time at the beach, right?
Yes. And time at the beach, and some time.
I'm trying to get a tan,
We all need a bit of love, so make sure you give that love to yourself too. That's what my girlfriend said to me. She said, Aldwyn, all that love you have for others, it's there for you too.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that evaluating and evaluating how you're going to make the best out of 2022. Seriously, our world is our oyster, right? Our world is our oyster. We're now living in a new world where things have shifted. It's an even playing field. It is go time.
Yes.
But it's go time, and I really am. I really feel so optimistic about what's going to happen, and I think there's a lot of people that are as well. And
Yes.
and at the end of the day, you know what? We can only just be living in the now, being present, and making a change for who wants to be changed and helped by us, and our own communities. And really, that's the best we can only do, right? And at the end of the day, if people who are going to who are don't resonate with you are great. That's great. And people who do resonate with you is even better, right? So it's a fabulous life to have choice of focus, right? So where you want to focus is really the energy of where you want to be, with the right people. So it's great. I reckon 2022 is such a cleansing year for everything. I'm excited.
Yes,
I've been booked to speak a lot with corporate Australia, like a number of corporates in Australia. So it's been exciting. So last year I spoke with Australia Post and Cisco, and I did a lot of big corporate things. And then, so I'm being booked up next year. So that's the future as well. I'm doing that, working one-on-one. I'm doing a lot of big branding shoots and videography with my top clients, and really enjoying that.
Wonderful, Zahrina.
With my group as well.
Yes, fantastic. Well, it's so great to see someone who loves what they do, who's living their passions, who's making such a big difference out there. So thank you so much for what you do and bring to the world, Zahrina. It's been a pleasure chatting with you today. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap up today?
No, I just want to, I guess I really want to leave with that. Your video visibility will skyrocket you, even if you are petrified.
Yes. Face your fears and do it anyway.
Yeah, that's it. Jump off the cliff and you will jump into the sea of miracles.
Yes, exactly. Jump off the cliff and you'll grow wings and fly, as they say as well. So I love that. That's beautiful. Thank you, Zahrina. That is awesome. Been such a pleasure having you here on Media Queen TV today, talking about content, confidence, and charisma on video. And anyone watching this, check out Zahrina's webinar next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Sydney time. We've got the link in the chat there. And check out her other amazing websites for photography and also her artwork as well. And of course, the Facebook group, and get your checklist, get the video checklist as well, all in the comments there. And if you'd like to connect with me, go to my linktree/Aldwyn has got all my social media links. I have some regular events I do every month. We have the Free Publicity Secrets Masterclass coming up on November 9. I have a new event called Social Media Masterclass I've just launched for November 20. I'll be talking about different social media platforms. People have been asking me, how do you do what you do, Aldwyn? So I thought, okay, well, we'll get this event going. And that's the thing, being able to work with what your clients want. And also I have the Global Good News Challenge, which is coming up in November. So for that is really about lifting the energy on the planet. That is about sharing more gratitude and good news. So Global Good News Challenge and the Mass Media Tribe meetup we have every month as well. So there's quite a few events to connect. I suggest follow me in Eventbrite. Follow Aldwyn also to get all the event updates emailed to you, and check out any of the other platforms where you're on, either Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, etc. Subscribe to Media Queen TV if you haven't already for more inspiring videos. We have over 700 videos in there now, so check them out, as well as a whole lot of Global Good News challenges. It's been an absolute pleasure being with you today. As Gandhi says, be the change you wish to see in the world. And as I say, shine bright and light up all those around you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let us know what you got in the comments. Put your comments in below. If you like what you've seen, then love it, and share the love. That would be fantastic. Wishing you all the best, Zahrina, with next Wednesday and with all your future endeavors. And I look forward to chatting with you in your group next week. So keep an eye on that as well. Thank you so much. Bye for now. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Bye. Bye.